The following is an original A-Livin' podcast.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we were at the Pocono Raceway, the Tricky Triangle here, to continue on the festivities for the month of June. And we go from a very wild and chaotic race at Michigan just this past weekend to a very calm, anticlimactic, kind of sort of lackluster action at Pocono. Not to say that it was bad. We still saw some good racing out of it, and saw, of course, a little bit more history made. And we're going to talk about it on this edition of Gamers Talk NASCAR. As always, I'm Elijah Leonard here with you. To the left, it is Wyatt Walker, and to the bottom, it is our panelist, Slifer. What's going on, gentlemen? How are we doing to kick things off for the month of June, or at least halfway through the month of June, rather?
We're halfway through the year already.
I know, it's crazy. It's just, time has gone by so quickly.
But as far as the NASCAR year, it's already been crazy enough as it is. With Tyler Reddick winning 5. And now one of the owners of 2311 is on his heels.
Well, it's absolutely unbelievable of how much closing that Denny Hamlin had to do within the course of almost a month to at least get remotely close to Tyler Reddick. Of course, we're going to cover that a little bit later on when we get to all the damn points. So with that said, gentlemen, I think we can go ahead and mention here, before we do get started, some of you may notice just a couple of things, whether it be on this YouTube channel or on this episode. One, why am I wearing a hoodie? It's because it's cold in my room, and the temperatures actually, for once this week, are going to be very cool, just cool. It's not going to be humid. It's not going to be muggy, but especially in this room with my fan on, it's been cold in here. So that's why I'm wearing a hoodie.
I mean, you can have some of my weather.
No, you can keep it.
I mean, it was only near 100 degrees with the humidity.
Yeah, you can keep that. You can keep that. The second thing that you might have noticed on this channel is our very old episodes have been coming up on the YouTube channel that date all the way back to 2022. So this starts off obviously at Kansas when Kurt Busch got his final victory in the Cup Series. And at this point, you probably might already see the episode from Gateway, from the Cup Series inaugural race at Gateway. So the reason why that has been happening the last couple of weeks is that between now and the rest of the season, you will be getting every episode from our first season of Gamers Talk NASCAR back in 2022. And we're just basically going to be re-uploading a lot of our older episodes. As far as the ones that are just on Spotify, that's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. So I'll probably have to leave a link in the description as far as the 2024 through 25 episodes that were only released exclusively on Spotify. And then on top of that, you may or may not see a little bit later on down the road previous episodes from basically what kind of was the show that was around before it became GTN, the NASCAR Pit Stop Show. Of course, this is a show that dates all the way back to 2016 when we first called it the NRLA podcast or the WRLA podcast, and then the Pit Stop Show, now the Gamers Talk NASCAR podcast. So you'll see episodes that range back from 2016. Of course, there are a couple episodes from back then that we filmed on Hangouts on Air. Those will be coming back out here shortly. Don't know when, but they'll be coming back out shortly. And then previous episodes from 2020 and as well as 2021. So be sure to keep an eye out for those episodes as we get later on, not just throughout the rest of this year, but also into the off season heading into 2027 and beyond. So there's a lot of episodes from way back in the day that I want to re-release and actually have organized onto this channel. So if you want to see previous episodes from our previous shows, and especially previous episodes from Gamers Talk NASCAR, do me a favor, do us all a favor. Be sure to hit the like button and be sure to consider subscribing in order to keep up with every episode that drops on Thursday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and as well as Spotify. While you're at it, also be sure to go follow us on Spotify as well, if you just in case if you are basically a listener, that is. All right, gentlemen, let's go ahead and get this party started. So Pocono, of course, we get to the Tricky Triangle for our one and only visit here for 2026, and let's just say the action was obviously pretty chaotic. I wouldn't say chaotic, but as I mentioned at the top of the show, was definitely pretty interesting to say the least. What say you guys? Would you agree?
Yeah, full-heartedly. Most of it happened right around the front stretch, right off of turn 3. But other than that, it was kind of mild. It's like they were all being respectful to each other to a point.
I would say so. I mean, like you said, like both the O'Reilly race and the Cup race did have a little bit of craziness every now and then, but compared to Michigan, yeah, it was a lot calmer. It was a bit more racing. It's been we actually in the Cup Series side we actually had a fuel mileage. We actually had to talk about fuel mileage for a little bit too, which we haven't. I don't think we talked about in a race for a finish in a long time.
Oh yeah.
So I'd say compare it was calm. But yeah, I enjoyed this.
And I know it's a totally different thing, but there was more action in the Pocono races on iRacing than there was in the actual racing at Pocono. And I know you can contest to that one.
Don't even get me started with Pocono, man. Like on iRacing. So since we're on that topic, man, of course, Sly and I did iRacing at Pocono, the NASCAR iRacing series, and don't get me wrong, the action was fun, but as far as my race, because I did the fixed session, and I did pretty well, right? Stayed out of trouble. Then unfortunately, the game was kind of a little bit buggy, so I fell a lap down because of it. Was trapped a lap down for most of it. Finally, close to about 10 to go, I get back on the lead lap. And this is at a time when most everybody was out of the race or multiple laps down. And unfortunately, somebody hit the wall and they kept coming down into my line. I hit them because I'm not anticipating them coming down as much. And I wasn't prepared. I didn't prepare myself. I didn't react fast enough. But stayed in it. 3 to go. Coming to 2 to go. My power randomly goes out, and now here's the kicker to this. The weather outside was fine. It was okay. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, bam, strong winds, lots of rain, thunder and lightning, quickly out of nowhere, just literally came out of nowhere. Excuse me. And it was just crazy, absolutely unbelievable of how I still got a good decent finish out of it. Unfortunately, 3 laps down. Thank you to Sly for relaying that information to me.
Yeah.
But no, it was very unfortunate of how iRacing, although treated me well at the beginning, did not treat me all that well at the end.
I did the very last NIS at Pocono. My race was going good. I got tagged in an accident that I thought I avoided, all that stuff. On a caution lap, we just get the 1 to go, get in our, inside or outside lane. And out of nowhere, my motor blows.
Yeah.
As many times, and I didn't over rev it, drop any gears. Nothing. I was doing the typical fuel saving, running in third gear, coasting, motor blows. Another crazy thing happened with Pocono, and it didn't involve any NASCAR drivers.
Okay.
You know this. Our friend Wolf, who was actually at the race live, traffic, I guess, was so backed up that they pulled everybody onto the track just to get out of the speedway.
And I'll ask Wolf for permission to actually put pictures of his time at the racetrack, and then the obviously the post-race traffic that he basically was directed onto the track for. But
Going the wrong way.
Going the wrong way. Of course, if this was real life or NR 2003 or iRacing, he would have easily been disqualified. But regardless of that, though, it was
surreal.
Yeah. Being on the racetrack is absolutely like awesome.
I know I've never got to experience it either with Homestead Miami or Daytona. You with Michigan. Having our own cars on the track.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would love at some point, over, I don't know, maybe at any given time, go to Michigan or go to Charlotte or go to Talladega or Daytona, wherever they do like the driving school, and actually go do it, get on the racetracks. Yeah.
I mean, would I want to drive the car? Duh. Would I care that they control how fast we go?
No.
Do I want to utter the words I'm dropping the hammer, Harry? Yes. Harry, I'm dropping the hammer.
Dropping the hammer.
Anybody that did those experiences had that thought in mind from Days of Thunder.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I have it all the time in iRacing. I just want to I did utter those words.
Let's talk about the two gentlemen of the weekend. First off, Justin Allgaier, win number 5 on this season. We can obviously agree with ourselves here that Justin Allgaier, this is the best season that Allgaier I think has ever had in his entire O'Reilly Series career. To date, honestly. It doesn't matter if we're going back to when he first started in like 2008, 2009 with Penske, or when he was with Turner Scott Motorsports for a little while, or when he came back in his early stages with Junior Motorsports all the way up to this point. We all could agree undisputedly, and the points show it, by the way, especially the gap between himself and second place Jesse Love, and even the cutoff line on top of that this is undisputedly his best season yet. What say you guys?
Allgaier is like the Tyler Reddick of the O'Reilly Series, at least this year. And I personally think he's Cup ready.
He may be Cup ready, but he seems like he's perfectly fine in the O'Reilly Series. Like he did it once at a Cup. Like unless Junior Motorsports brings that 40 full time, I don't see Allgaier moving up to Cup at all. But I do want to point out, and I looked this up, he is tied with the most wins he had in a season, if I'm not mistaken.
Which is remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. Because as of right now, let's compare actually 2018 to this year. Of course, in 2018, out of all the 33 races, he had 5 wins, 17 top 5s, 24 top 10s, 1 pole. And out of 5,355 laps that he completed, he had led 741 of them. His average finish in 2018 was a 10.6. Now, we talk about the halfway point of the O'Reilly Series. Listen to these stats. 5 wins, 12 top 5s, 14 top 10s, 2 poles, and at the time of this recording, June 15th, out of 2,812 laps completed thus far. He has led 457 of them. And his average finish as of right now is a 7.5. Just right now, just absolutely staggering, incredible numbers. And I'd say stat-wise, I think, sure, not as many top 5s or top 10s compared to 2018. But I think when you look at the rate of consistency that he has been on throughout this year compared to 2018, I think Allgaier is just on a much better track, than what he was just almost a decade ago. And the second guy, of course, that we're going to be talking about here, and we have been talking about him for the last almost a month now, Denny Hamlin.
Mr. Prime.
We can agree, like Allgaier, Hamlin's on a roll. I think this is just unbelievable of what he's been able to do throughout this year. Of course, Toyota has just been absolutely dominant with 2311, but also as far as the Gibbs side, Denny Hamlin has been the main driver on top. And it shows every week. He has been very consistent all year long. 3 in a row for the first time in his career. Just got that at Pocono this past weekend. And of course, and again, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this during the All the Damn Points. He has cut down the points gap to Tyler Reddick. He has shrunk it. He is right there. That is about a 19-point gap. Absolutely unbelievable of the amount of points that Hamlin has been able to just rack up over the course of the last 3 to 4 weeks in order to close the gap. And doing this all, by the way, at 45 years old. Now, of course, a lot of drivers, especially in their 40s and 50s, can still perform just as good as they did in whatever year was their prime year or when they first started, which is remarkable to me. Absolutely very remarkable. This kind of reminds me of the days of Mark Martin back in 2009 when he won 5 races and almost won the championship at 50 years old. Just unbelievable. And even if we want to go even further back, Harry Gant back in the early 90s when he won every race in September, thus dubbing him Mr. September in the early 90s. So just absolutely incredible of what Hamlin has been able to do almost halfway through this season. And just, we can agree that I think this is the best Denny Hamlin I think I have ever seen ever. And all of the years that we've watched him in the Cup Series, this is probably the most determined, the most focused, the most motivated Denny Hamlin we've ever seen.
I say it's like Prime has got 5 races on the schedule. He has won almost all of them except for the 600.
Yeah.
And it's incredible, and it's where I think he's more focused, and it's kind of hard to even think of saying this, but it's like with Kyle's passing, I think lit a big fire under Denny Hamlin's ass. He's laser focused. Granted, he's 3 poles, 3 wins. And with the gap shrunk, he can tie Tyler Reddick in 2 stages tomorrow or Sunday.
Yeah.
How crazy does that sound? That you could take the points lead just in 2 stages.
Literally, it's just right there. Like the points lead is literally, you can just reach out and grab it.
And I think before, when Reddick won his 5th, I believe we were all talking about we should just give it to Reddick.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, I'm kind of eating my words on that.
I think we're all eating our words on that one because we genuinely thought that with Tyler Reddick's dominance, especially at the beginning of the season, we were just like, yep, I think that's it. You know, we're just going to give the regular season trophy to Tyler Reddick. We're going to move on to the chase, and he's probably going to win the championship there. And Reddick still is still looking pretty good, despite him kind of, it's not like he took his eyes off the ball. It's just there's a lot of elements that were out of his control, like Michigan, for instance, Pocono. He did finish third, but obviously that is not enough for him to increase his gap. But he's holding on to the points lead, but not by much, as we've alluded to, and what we're going to continue to talk about as we go into wide segment. But since we compared Allgaier's stats, I want to compare the stats to Denny Hamlin's best season, which was back in 2010 when he won 8 races, compared to this year. In 2010, Denny Hamlin had 8 wins, 14 top 5s, 18 top 10s, 2 poles. Out of 10,530 laps, he has led 1,184 of those laps and has an average finish of 12.9. Let's take a look at this year's. Out of the 16 races that have been completed thus far, as of today on June 15th that we're recording this, 4 wins, 9 top 5s, 11 top 10s, 3 poles. He has won every single time he's won on the pole so far. Out of, currently, the 4,203 laps that have of the season, he has led 824 laps. At least the 4,203 laps that he has completed, he's led 824 of them. His average finish, listen to this, compared to his 12.9 in 2010, it is a 7.8 right now in 2026. If you're going to be winning races, especially for Allgaier or even Denny Hamlin, to be winning races in your late 30s and 40s, like this, man, what a time to do it. Honestly.
Yeah.
What a time to do it. Like it's to me, it's just incredible. All right, Wyatt, was there anything that you wanted to add on?
Yeah, I'm going to double back on what Sly was saying about what y'all were saying about like Kyle Busch. With some other, I think he was had some extra motivation before Kyle. To be completely honest, like I mentioned last week, like you mentioned about losing the championship last year to the past format, and then you got like a month later, his dad passed away from fire. Then Greg Biffle in the plane crash. It's like there's multiple stuff that just like had that motivation, like try to build up. And then you mentioned the fact that the only race he didn't win was the Coke 600.
Yeah.
Don't forget, if the rain did not come under caution, it would have been Hamlin or Bell that would have won that race. So I think Hamlin might have had a shot to at least sweep the current, like all of prime at the moment if the rain didn't come for the Coke 600. So
I think with everything that's gone on in Hamlin's life, like you already alluded to with Biffle, Kyle, his dad, when he retires at the end of the 2027 season, he can fully focus on 2311 racing with Michael Jordan. So we will still see Hamlin at the track, but he's going to be like Jeff Gordon, because you're going to have Corey Haim taking over the 35. So you're going to have somebody like the caliber of Corey Haim. Hopefully he doesn't have the rookie slump.
Hopefully not like a Connor Zilic rookie
yeah,
slump.
I wasn't really going to put just single him out. But we know there's other rookie people that have come up from Truck Series and O'Reilly Series that have had a slump in their rookie year in the Cup Series.
Yep.
But you got the star caliber of Corey Heim and now Tyler Reddick, and and Bubba. We ain't seen the half of what 2311 can really do.
Yep. And once Hamlin, of course, hangs it up, I mean, and as you mentioned, then he turns his full attention to 2311 and starts handing out information to the Bubba and Tyler Reddick and then Corey Heim.
Mm-hmm.
That's when 2311, I think, will probably really give other Toyota teams like Joe Gibbs Racing a run for their money.
Gibbs.
And then I know, but like particularly, I'm talking specifically in the Toyota field, but yeah, I feel like they could also overtake Gibbs later on down the line, but like also I think they'll just become the new dominant Toyota team over time, and just definitely overtake a lot of the Chevys and Fords and maybe Dodges if we ever see Dodge come back to Cup. All right. Well, that said, I think we've done all the recapping that we need to talk about, and also potential foreshadowing, if you will. So let's go ahead and review our finishing results here for the Pocono weekend, starting off with the O'Reilly Series. Justin Allgaier coming home as the race winner. Brent Cruz finishing in the second position. William Byron finishing in third. Then Sam Mayer coming home in fourth. Sheldon Creed rounding out your top five. Listen to this. Anthony Alfredo. Yes. Anthony Alfredo finishing in the sixth position. As Sly emerges from the darkness, he goes back into the darkness and then will eventually re-emerge here pretty eventually. Raja Caruth comes home in seventh. Then in eighth is Brandon Jones. Ninth, Connor Zilich and Carson Quapple. Rounds out your top 10. From positions 11th on down to 20th, they look like this. Harrison Burton, Cole Custer, Dean Thompson, Austin Hill, Parker Retzloff, Jeremy Clements, Taylor Gray, Brendan Poole, Sammy Smith, and Blaine Perkins. That's your top 20. 21st on down to 30th looks like this. William Sawalich, Josh Bilicki, Nick Sanchez, Ryan Ellis, Patrick Starr, Ryan Sieg, Carson Ware. He was the last car running on the racetrack. Everyone else went out of the race. Jeb Burton, LeVar Scott, and then Dexter Bean in the 91 rounds out your top 30. Finally, from positions 31st on down to 38th, look like this. Patrick Emmerling, Kyle Sieg, Leland Honeyman, Natalie Decker, Nathan Beard, Joey Gase, Jesse Love, who went on a lap 1, and Corey Day did not even complete a lap. He goes out of the race in dead last. My man did not even complete a lap. That is actually very sad. Now let's talk about our Cup results. Denny Hamlin, for the third time in a row, starts on the pole, finishes first, but this time did not have to go to the back. Tyler Reddick finishes in the second position. William Byron finishing in third. Then John Hunter Nemechek coming home in fourth. Can we give a big round of applause to Mr. John Hunter Nemechek right here and the Legacy Motor Club team? Sly, why aren't you clapping? Kyle Larson in car number 5. He finishes in position number 5. Eric Jones finishing in the 6th position. Chris Buescher finishing in 7th. Ross Chastain in 8th. Ty Gibbs in 9th. And Ryan Blaney rounds out your top 10.
Oh, come on. You don't want to mention your stay away, Mr. Watermelon Man finishing 8th?
It's good that he good for him, but like he finished in the top 10 for all the wrong reasons.
And I'm sorry. I think you I at least got my winner. Actually, no, you have the same winner as me.
We all did,
I don't know. My brain
except
ain't
for
working.
Stapleton.
No, Elijah picked someone else to win, I thought.
Yeah, I did. I picked Chase Elliott, which, speaking of, 11th on down to 20th, looks like this. Chase Elliott, he finished in a position that has a 1 in it, but it was 2 1s and not a number 1, not a single 1. You know what I mean? Anyways, Chase Briscoe, and then you got Daniel Suarez, Austin Cindric, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Riley Herbst, Michael McDowell, Austin Hill, Todd Gilliland, and Carson Hocevar. That is your top 20.
Oh, we should have went lower.
Now,
Yeah, one position less for your dark horse, Slayer. You would have gotten that point. Need one more position.
21st on down to 30th looks like this. Bubba Wallace, AJ Allmendinger, Connor Zilic, Cole Custer, Austin Dillon, Christopher Bell, who could have and honestly had a caution come out within 10 to go, probably would have been in a great position to potentially win and make the fuel last if a caution came out. Unfortunately, had to pit on the final lap, so he slots himself into 26th. Alex Bowman, then Ryan Preece, Daniel Dye, and Cody Ware rounds out your top 30. Thank God it's not 3 top 25s in a row, Mr. Cody Ware.
But, you know, before you get to the end of them, I mean, we do got to applaud Seabell for actually completing all 160 laps of that race.
And almost won.
Yeah.
Almost won it, too.
But he pulled a Dale Jarrett at Indy and ran out of gas.
Don't forget, too, he has a fractured
left wrist,
yeah. A fractured.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's like, while doing this, too, compared to all this, like
I mean, after he came in like a wrecking ball, after he came in like a wrecking ball at Michigan, you know where I was going with that one.
Why do I imagine just Christopher Bell rolling into Pocono with the Wrecking Ball song by Miley Cyrus?
I don't want that in it.
Just
you know, with what he went through with that hit to finish, you know, the allotted amount of miles that they were going. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't do it.
Especially
everything was on they had to switch everything over where his water bottle thing was positioned, his radio button. Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, especially to endure that amount of pain in your left wrist for about 2 to 3 hours constantly is just big props to Bell, honestly, for going through that, man. All right, finally, 31st on down to 38th looks like this. SVG, Ty Dillon, Josh Berry, Joey Logano. He was the last car running on the racetrack. And then you got Noah Gragson, Casey Mears, Zane Smith, and Brad Keselowski, who went out of the race on lap 46. Mind you, half of these drivers that are at the bottom of the running order, for example, Keselowski, Gragson, Logano, Berry, SVG, they were all in probably one of the dumbest crashes ever in turn 3. Probably one of the dumbest wrecks I think I've ever seen. This is like your typical iRacing bottom split crash.
Anyways, after that, now we go to my segment of all the damn points. So trucks was off this week, so we don't have to talk about trucks. Now we go to the O'Reilly series, and as Elijah alluded to past it, Justin Allgaier has a huge lead over second place Jesse Love. He has, I'm going to tell you the points he has before I tell you the gap between the two. He has 413 points from the cut line. This is Justin Allgaier.
Yeah.
And I've even heard that he's even technically locked into the chase. with this as well.
Hope so.
Like I'd say he's pretty. If not, he's pretty close to being locked in with this. I'd say in a few races, but between him and Jesse Love, who has 163, that is a 250 point gap between Justin Allgaier and Jesse Love. 250. That was bigger than the gap that Reddick had over second place months ago. It didn't even get to 200 yet. It was close. They could talk about a few weeks that it was about to be. But no, that's the biggest gap. And if Allgaier doesn't win this championship, I'd be surprised. I'd be really shocked.
Hmm.
Continuing on, third points right now is still Corey Day. Even after barely didn't even complete a lap at Pocono, he's still third in points with 146 points above, but only 6 points above Sheldon Creed, who was 140. We got Austin Hill and Carson Kvapil, both tied with 94 points above. Brandon Jones, 89. Sammy Smith, 75. Sam Mayer, 30. Parker Retzloff, 17. William Schwaltz, 16th. And bringing up the last spot above the cutoff, getting his first sniff of the chase is rookie Brent Cruz with 3 points above his teammate, Taylor Gray.
Actually, he's back in the top 12.
Yeah, back in the top. He was in there before? Okay, yeah. I couldn't remember if he was or not. But yeah. Then, as I mentioned, Taylor Gray, first one out by 3 points. Roger Caruth out by 8. Ryan Sieg, 37. Brendan Poole, 104. Anthony Alfredo, 113. Dean Thompson, 126. Jeremy Clements, 148. Jeff Burton, 170. Blaine Perkins, 178. And Harrison Burton, almost 200 points, but it's 199.
I think for now, I mean, we can easily say anybody who is over 130 below, they are mathematically, there's no way that they're going to make it in. I think Brendan Poole, Anthony Alfredo, there's a chance. I mean, that they could. I mean, that they could mathematically get close, but I think when you look at it, Poole, Alfredo, Thompson, they're long shots. They are far and away long shots to
they need an act of God.
Get close to the cut line and or possibly find a way to get into the chase. Gray, Caruth, Sieg, they're pretty much in the catbird scene. They're fighting for that last spot. And yes. Brent Cruz, let's bring it up again. This is the first time that he has been in the chase since who knows how long, this season. I think he wound up the wreck that he had at Charlotte a couple weeks ago. That was the thing that knocked him out of the chase.
Mm-hmm.
And now,
that's right.
Now he's back in it, but he's barely hanging on by 3 hairs over Taylor Gray. So I mean,
got more
and a little bit more, but I think Cruz, the only way that he obviously is going to stay in is if he continues his consistent ways. Yeah, obviously with top 5s, top 10s. I wouldn't be shocked if he went out and won a race somewhere later on down the line. And there's several races that he should have won. Very easily should have won. Taylor Gray, I'd say the same case for him. And don't get me wrong, Sawalich, it's great to see him in this position and that he's still holding on, but I really don't see the rest of this regular season boding all that well for him, especially at the naval base.
Me personally, for the O'Reilly series, I think the battle is between Sam Mayer, who's 30th above, all the way to Ryan Sieg, who's 37th below. I think that's the main fight that we need to keep our eye on. That's the bubble for this. And it sucks that Parker Retzloff is a part of this too, because he's had an amazing beginning, but then just middle of the season, he's just fallen.
He's had ups and downs.
Yeah.
But I do agree with what you were saying with Sam Mayer to Ryan Sieg being that main focus.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Allgaier could take like 3 weeks off and
He'd be fine.
still have. He could take it all the way to the chase, I think.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think he's. People saying he is he's basically locked in, which I would not be surprised if not
Regular
this
season
weekend.
champion.
Exactly. Jesse Love needs to start like getting wins more if he wants to at least try to compete. But I don't see anyone competing against Justin Allgaier for regular season.
Allgaier pretty much at this rate, unless if he took a week or two off, he is winning the regular season title. It's not even particularly close.
No.
Chances are he'll probably lock it up before the regular season finale.
Allgaier getting the regular season championship is like somebody else contending Zillage for the rookie of the year.
And even if he doesn't clutch it up right away, I wouldn't be surprised if he locked it up by just simply starting the regular season finale.
Like people in the past have done, where they've locked up the championship before any of this chase or playoffs even happened, when it was a full 36-week season. I forgot who it was. As soon as they started their engine, they locked it. They locked up the championship. And there's been numerous drivers that have done that.
I know Kyle Busch did back in 2009.
I'm going to say Harvick, and I think 2000, 2001. I don't know. I know Harvick was one. I know Harvick was one of them.
In 2001 for sure, maybe even 2006, because I know he won the title in that year as well.
Now we move on to the Cup Series, and as we mentioned, this point gap between Reddick and Hamlin has close to 19-point difference. Honestly, we talked about Allgaier being locked for the regular season in the O'Reilly series. I think it's going to be a fight between Tyler Reddick and Denny Hamlin.
Oh, easily.
For the regular season now. With both of them being at 300 points above the cutoff, which Reddick has 353, and now Denny's like 334. They're behind. Ryan Blaney is third with 118. And I'm trying to do quick math on the top of my head. 26. No, 46. 146, maybe. If my math is mathing. My math is mathing.
Is your math mathing? Let's go ahead and do the math here. Yeah, 146. You got that right.
Boom. Math was always my best basic math was always my best subject in high school. I was always good with numbers. That's why I'm the Larry McConnell.
Trust me. I think if we can fully understand what you have going on over here, I think we might be able to figure stuff out too. But
yeah. So I'm sorry that my ADHD makes me. This is how I'm able to understand this. So. But yeah, 100. Did we say 40? Did we say 46?
146 points is the difference between Hamlin and Ryan Blaney.
Yeah. As of right now, and that might end up growing. Depending on these races coming up, I think it grows. This is crazy. I don't see how Blaney or Elliott, Gibbs. I don't see how anyone's going to catch. I don't see how anyone's going to catch him.
Yeah.
But go ahead and go through the rest of the field. We have Chase Elliott with 158, Ty Gibbs 155, Kyle Lutz at 143, Chris Buescher 110, Daniel Suarez 99. Funny enough, Carson Hocevar, 98. Christopher Bell, 70. William Byron, 64. Chase Briscoe, 60. Bubba Wallace, 43. SPG, 10. And here's a surprise, y'all. Eric Jones is back up. I think he was, if I'm not mistaken, he was up there in the beginning of the year with the Daytona Atlanta stuff, but fell down. If I'm not mistaken, he is back up here, currently tied with Austin Cindric with only 4 points above the cutoff, which I think that is great to see. Legacy has been improving a lot. It's great to see Eric Jones up here in the top 16.
Absolutely.
Brad Keselowski, first one down, -4. Joey Logano, 21. Ryan Preece, 33. Michael McDowell, 49. AJ Allmendinger, 54. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. moves up to the back up to 22nd spot in 56. Give me a quick moment to get the rest of the points so I can name some notable names. Zane Smith, we mentioned he just crashed out the last few weeks. He went from being I'd say 18th to about 18, 19th of points a couple weeks ago to now he's down to 24th in points, only 72 below the cutoff. It's one big name I want to mention.
He was doing so good too.
Ross Chastain down 61, 23rd in points. I'm going to put John Nemechek up here. He's only down 78 points, 26 points, but he actually moved up from 28th in points to 26th in points. So that's a name I want to give a little shout out to. And I want to bring this name up too. It says on this standings that Custer is ahead of Bowman, but it looks like Bowman gets a nod, so he's the final one for the in-season challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Even though he's literally tied with Cole Custer with 167 points below the cutoff. I think that does it for the point standings wise of it. And now we go to our GTN points part of this segment. It is swapped again. Me and Stapleton both got the most points with 4, if I remember correctly. Slifer got 3 points, and Elijah got 2. So now I'm back in the lead with 65 points, 1 point above Elijah, 64, who is half a point above Stapleton, and back in last place, but not that far, is still Sly, but only a half point behind Stapleton.
Hey, Wyatt. Mm-hmm. How many fingers am I holding up right now?
I'm going to say Carson Quapple. This is the end of my segment of all the damn points.
All right. So there's only one breaking story. I think one big one. Maybe there's more, but so far the biggest one that we're able to notify and that we do have confirmation on is that Josh Berry, after this year, does not have a ride. He is not returning to the Wood Brothers in 2027, which, as Wyatt had talked about off air, that the rumors of Jesse Love, right, potentially going to the 21 seem to be a little bit more real. But what this also does, in my mind, this also puts Josh Berry in the conversation of, potential rides that he could now go to. One of the ones that I had brought up, and unless if we get other further news on whether or not he is getting a contract extension or not, so far, it's not looking like it right now. But he could be a potential candidate to replace Alex Bowman in the 48. Again, this is if we get news that either Bowman is resigning and all those candidates get basically put to bed when it comes to the 48, or Alex Bowman does not get re-signed for 2027. So, of course, let's talk about our reactions to Josh Berry not returning to the Wood Brothers. And then we can talk about potentially where we could see him going for 2027.
I personally think it's a good thing. Because if he goes to, say, Legacy or even Hendrix, he's going to have better opportunities, because of equipment. I said Wood Brothers is a one-car team. So it's like not really much there. Like if he went to Legacy, he has Eric Jones. Who else is there?
John Nemechek.
Yeah. But so he's got two other drivers he can get information off of. Hendricks, he's got William Byron, Kyle Larson, and whoever else.
Chase Elliott.
Yeah. My mind's not all here right now. But he would have 3 teammates to get information off of. As opposed to, hey, what do we got? That's it.
No.
Not to mention that O'Reilly, don't forget O'Reilly's an option and he has done amazing. I wouldn't say spectacular, but he has done a pretty good job in the O'Reilly series, not to mention junior motorsports. So I won't be surprised. And here's another thing I want to open up. Nothing's been confirmed, but if Love is going to that 21, and there's a chance that Austin Hill goes to the 33 next year in the Cup, RCR will have no drivers. So it's a chance like Barry could be in one of those rides.
So
Again,
I don't know how true this would be, but there's a video that I just saw while I was looking up the thing about Alex Bowman's contract. And it's the title of it saying that Bowman out at Hendricks in 27 and Gregson going to RCR in 27. I don't know how true any of that is. Because, I mean, truthfully, I'll be honest, Austin Hill is better in the O'Reillys than he is in the Cup.
I think he's better off in O'Reilly's than he is in Cup, honestly. Don't get me wrong. I think it's awesome that he was called up to drive the former 8 car for Kyle Busch. Obviously, that is Kyle's car. That will forever be Kyle's car, regardless of if he were still alive and racing or not, right? That's forever going to be Kyle's car. For Austin Hill, as great as as good of a job as he's doing in the 8 now 33, I think he just is better off in O'Reilly's because remember, I think even last year, as silly as it sounds, and even given his on track shenanigans, that he wanted to be kind of the quote unquote role model. Again, as silly as that sounds, of the O'Reilly series. And he's pretty loyal to Richard Childress. He has been loyal to the RCR brand for as long as he's been a part of the team when he started back in 2022. So I don't see Austin Hill really, going up to Cup as far as like a full-time basis is concerned. I think he'll stay down in O'Reilly's and probably keep that RCR team on the O'Reilly side going. But as far as Cup, I think Gregson would be probably the best candidate if you want to look for scout around for other drivers at the Cup level. If the status of Gregson's contract with Front Row Motorsports is true and that it is his last year with Front Row, should he not get a contract extension, then maybe I could see him going to RCR to take over the 33. That's a possibility. It's the writing could be on the wall. You never know. But then again,
we won't know.
We won't know. Then again, as either Sly or Wyatt mentioned, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that we've seen some huge swerves as far as silly season is concerned, because even some drivers that we would have least expected in certain rides, they take those rides. We've seen it happen before. So it could happen again, maybe a couple times over this year. Oh, but all right. Is there any other breaking stories that we have here, perchance?
Besides like Brendan Gaughan, I mean, we're probably going to talk about this when we go through our picks. But I mean, Brendan Gaughan coming back after I'm going to say Talladega in 29.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
29. It was
Yes.
2019?
Yes. Yes. This is when he had his flip.
Yeah, 2019 was the last we've seen of Brendan Gaughan in any of NASCAR. It is good to see him back. I've always had a soft spot for Brendan. We talk about like RCR. Like he was one of the, I'd say, O'Reilly RCR legends.
There's one person I would like to see come back, even if it's for a one-off in a colleague truck. Sauter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Johnny Sauter.
It's possible. That's happened before. First, I think this is a perfect time to preview the Naval Base Coronado. Oh boy, gentlemen, we're here.
We're going to buy racing on this one.
We're
This is
here.
about all the information we got.
Okay, but no, gentlemen, we're here. This is probably one of those. This is definitely one of those dates that we have had circled on our calendars the moment that this was announced, because this is one of those street courses that we were kind of looking forward to. And this, as Sly has mentioned, even off air, this is a street course that is obviously going to have racing take place on an active Air Force base. So Sly and I can probably say from our experience from my racing, this is probably going to be one of the most uniquely laid out road courses that I think we have ever seen. But coming into this one, this is a completely green racetrack. And when I say green, I mean, obviously there's going to be no rubber put down on this track yet. But everybody is going to be learning this course. So going into this one, what are we looking forward to?
A giant show.
I do agree with that, but also the fact, like, not only is this just a green racetrack, this will be the old, unless they somehow bring it back in the far distance. This is the only time we are actually racing. Because this is a one-off year that we're racing with the naval base. So we may not see this ever again after a couple days. So I feel like obviously, I think we can all agree who we think is going to cup wise. We know who's winning, but I feel like it'd be an honor to be the person to not only just win the first race here, but probably the only race here at the naval base.
And this is probably something else to also point out, but this is also, as far as track layout wise, there's going to be a lot of narrow spots, lots of wide spots, lots of bumps, lots of course, a combination of concrete and asphalt. And then also you throw in train tracks. Yes, there are train tracks on the course. So
I didn't know that.
Thrown in with the bumps.
Yeah.
If you guys have not seen my main YouTube channel, which is also at it's11, so if you look it up at it's_11, all lowercase, you will see a video titled "The Naval Base Coronado is Insane." So you'll be able to look at that video. Be sure to watch it. Be sure to give the main channel a like and hit subscribe. We're almost at 3K subs over there, by the way. Hashtag shameless plug. Yeah, that basically is one of the other things is that thrown in with the bumps and the transition from asphalt to concrete and vice versa. Yes, there are railroad tracks on one particular section of the course thrown in with the bumps.
Like you're saying, with your video, which I watched pretty much when I saw it, said like 27 minutes ago when it was uploaded. There's parts of it where it will be very narrow. You go into the turn, and it's like a wide as it can be. And then you got one particular tire patch. More chicanes than I think Sonoma and Watkins Glen combined.
Oh, yeah.
Turns 1 going to 2, if you get enough speed, you will go airborne.
Absolutely.
I've done it. I know Elijah's done it. Hearing him when he was getting the course, I can hear it in your voice. You're like, oh God, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yeah. Yup.
But the uniqueness of it, I am glad that it's on a naval base for the 250th year. I think that's why they did it instead of Chicago. Thank God. I may change my answer next week. But it's just going to be very interesting to see how these guys maneuver around the course. They haven't even tried it yet because the hauler's actually on the way to Coronado right now as we speak. Sorry, Wyatt, they're no longer in Oklahoma.
I know.
But yeah, it's gonna be exciting as far as wrecks are concerned. How many will finish? SVG. Maybe Connor. Maybe. Asterisk put an asterisk on that comment.
Okay, so I think with that said, it is time to get on down into our predictions. So it's going to be done a little bit differently, just slightly for this week. We give you a driver who we think is going to win. Pretty self-explanatory. Driver to stay away from is the driver that hasn't been doing well the last couple of weeks, or we're just coming up to a track where they don't perform all that well at, or they just haven't been performing well in general. And the dark horse is the exact opposite. And for this week, we have a fourth prediction. Wyatt, would you care to explain what this fourth prediction is?
Actually, this was his idea. I'm actually going to give the honor to Slifer.
All right.
On this one, because this was his idea.
Right. So our fourth pick is obviously just for the street course. It's the pile up pick. If you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about, it's not who's involved in it. It's who starts the pile up. If it's in the little section, big section, it don't matter. The one who starts it, we would get the point for it. It came out of my crazy head, and I'm thinking, why not just for the street course? We've seen what happened at Chicago. Let's throw it in there just for 1 week.
Just for this week. Yeah. Because this is definitely going to be a very chaotic weekend across all three divisions. Trucks, O'Reilly's, Cup. Might I add, all three of them are 250 miles. All three of them. So kind of ironic of how this is being done at the US's 250th birthday. So I think with that said, let's go ahead and get on down with our predictions. Let's start off with Nathan Stapleton's here, who unfortunately was not able to make it for the umpteenth time. Starting off with his Truck Series predictions, his dark horse for this weekend, he chose Kaz Gralla in the number 62 for Halmer Friesen Racing. His driver to stay away from, he chose Brendan Queen. His driver to win, Caden Honeycutt, and the driver who will start the pileup, Nathan Nicholson in the number 76. For the O'Reilly series, his dark horse, interestingly enough, and I kind of like this prediction, Austin Green in the number 87. His driver to stay away from, Jeb Burton. His driver to win, Sam Mayer. And the driver to start the pileup in the O'Reilly series, Blaine Perkins. And now for the Cup series. His driver to be his dark horse driver is Chris Buescher. His driver to stay away from, I can't believe he put him in this category, but Denny Hamlin. And his driver to win is SVG. And the driver to start the pileup, the Hurricane himself. Stand back! There's a hurricane coming through. It's Carson Hocevar.
And to go off of Stapleton's real quick, I can kind of understand because Hamlin would need more space to do some of the, maneuvering through the field, depending on where he qualifies. Hamlin would only have two sections.
Yeah.
To really do any of those maneuvers, and he'd have to pass 4+ cars in that short bit of sections.
Absolutely.
So I can kind of see it.
I can see it, yeah. All right, Sly, take it away, man. It's your turn.
All right. My dark horse for the trucks. I'm gonna go with Brendan Queen for dark horse.
Okay.
Stay away from, and I'm actually gonna Mini Tyrell. Oh, don't worry, it gets better.
Oh boy, here we go.
I do agree with Stapleton's driver to win. And Caden Honeycutt.
Okay. I like it.
Now the one I think is going to start a pile up. Hey, Frankie.
Cheezo Pete's. Oh man, he really will be Malcolm in the Middle. Mike. See, okay.
Hey, he is not a stay away. He is not a stay away.
Yep.
Now, what sucks about this weekend is that he's not driving the Malcolm in the Middle truck here again, like he did at Bristol. So say if he starts a pileup, if he does start the pileup, he wouldn't be driving the Malcolm in the Middle truck while being Malcolm in the Middle.
He'll just be Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
The NASCAR edition.
Absolutely.
Okay, but for
I'm about to take a shot every time I hear Malcolm in the Middle now.
Okay, we get drunk. But
that moonshine would be gone.
My O'Reilly
Oh, yeah.
picks. My dark horse. It's Corey Day.
I like it.
Just make sure he can let you play a lap.
That's if anybody can complete a damn lap.
Fair point.
My stay away from was the man that was possibly gonna replace Christopher Bell last week. Taking Brandon Jones.
Okay.
I like that.
I'm sorry if you hear noises in the background.
I don't hear anything, so you're good.
Thank
No,
God.
I don't either.
But my driver to
He's
win.
a weirdo talking.
But my driver to win, I think is going to have this many wins after Coronado.
Okay.
Taking Allgaier.
Here we
I'm
go.
bringing back Watkins Glen memories.
Here we
My
go.
pile-up starter, Austin Hill.
There
Sorry,
it is.
it's just thinking of Watkins Glen in the O'Reilly series, or at the time, Xfinity series.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, the things that I come up with.
Here we go.
Now, for the Cup Series, my dark horse. I kind of agreed with what Stapleton said, but I think he's going to do decent though. I'm taking Hamlin for my dark horse.
All right.
I think you mean the wrong person for your dark horse, but okay.
No, I said Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, but you said Stapleton said Denny Hamlin.
No, his stay away was Denny Hamlin. I kind of agreed with it, but I think he's still going to do within the dark horse range. My stay away. Sorry, Zolich. And I think this is going to be a unanimous driver to win. I'm picking his teammate, SVG.
Oh yeah.
And actually, at the same time, I think Village is going to start a pile up.
Zillich?
Yeah.
Wrong number.
I thought so far we was gonna be unanimous of hosts of our starting the pile up.
No, if you remember what I said off air, that it was going to be probably one of the two.
Right.
Oh God.
All right, Wyatt. It's your turn.
All right, for the truck series, for my dark horse, I actually went a little different. I went with a guy who's really good at the road courses. And making his first truck appearance since I remember when. I got Justin Marks as my dark horse.
I like it.
I also have a mini Tyrell as my stay away. Just don't really see him. But I'm different. I don't have Caden Honeycutt. I believe he's going to be up there, but I got Lane Riggs. He won all the way back in early March, late February. I don't know.
Caden Honeycutt?
No, Lane Riggs when he won
Lane
at
Riggs?
the,
February, yeah. That was February. Late February.
Yeah. I always forget the name of that track.
St. Petersburg.
Yeah, St.
Yep.
Petersburg.
Oh, how can I not forget about that?
Yeah, he dominated. Yeah, he pretty dominated that race. Maybe not fully, but he at the very end, no one was able to catch him. I got Lane Riggs.
I like it.
He's a pretty good. He's a pretty good road course driver. And my pile up, I got Cole Butcher. I just don't. I could just see him messing up. I just got Cole Butcher. The O'Reilly series, I was tossed between on my winner couple, but I switched to the last minute. My dark horse, I got Carson Quapple.
Okay. I like it.
He's doing pretty good. My stay away, it was him or his teammate Brandon. It was him or his teammate Brandon Jones. I'm glad you picked Brandon Jones. I got William Sawalich. But for their teammates, he's been pretty good at road courses. And since we don't have a Connor Zillich or an SVG in the O'Reilly series, he making his first win. Give me Brent Bruce. And for my pile up, I do think he'll be up there, but I won't be surprised if this rookie gets a little too crazy accidentally starts a wreck. I got Corey Day. I got Corey Day as my person that creates a pile up.
He better not.
Now I didn't say he would be in the wreck. He's just going to start it.
He better not start it or be in it.
Yeah.
Now for the Cup Series. My dark horse, I'm sorry, the Dominance. Even if it's a street course, the way his season's been going, he can figure out a way to be up there. He ain't going for the win, but he damn sure is going to be up there at least top 10 at some point. I got Denny Hamlin. He ain't going 4 in a row, but don't be surprised if you see him up there. I got Denny Hamlin.
I like
My
it.
driver to stay away from. I got one of his drivers. I got Bubba Wallace.
Wallace.
Driver to win. Do I even need to say it? SVG. It's going to be SVG. I'm sorry. SVG is going to get a second win. Hell, early prediction, he's going to win Sonoma next week.
Oh.
I'm going to say tell me I'm wrong. He's the road course guy. He's the road course guy now. It's hard to bet against SVG, especially now he's in his best number.
Mm-hmm.
Stapleton can argue that's his number, but that's besides the point.
Right.
He's done so much in the 97. He's now in this. It's hard to bet against SVG. Now, I agree with Stapleton here. I got host of ours my pile up. I mean, I'm sorry. You can't deny that, like, he is way too aggressive for his own good, especially for a new track like this. It's easy to create pile ups. You can't not count out Hocevar when it comes to like causing the crash. I mean, look at Michigan.
Yeah.
Well, yes, most of that was not his fault. Actually, majority of it kind of was, but
It was, but
even
wasn't.
then,
It was mostly Larson because
Yeah.
he was up front. He was the control car.
exactly.
All right. Anyways, it's my turn. It is officially my turn for
Unfortunately,
the Come on now. So for the Naval Base Coronado. Dear God, my brain almost said, unfortunately, because you said unfortunately. Wyatt.
I would have had a win if I did that.
That's unfortunate.
Here we go. For my driver to win. He has been on a roll in the truck series as of late. And I will personally say, I think I will see Lane Riggs go to victory lane here for the truck series. Watch, the one time I pick him as my winner, he doesn't do jack.
He better not, because you picked the same winner as me.
Yeah. Hi, I'm your jinx. Anyways, my driver to stay away from. I hate to put him in this category, but I think I'm gonna say Justin Haley's my driver to stay away from. Like
Yeah,
Dodge altogether, I think maybe with a couple of exceptions, has obviously, I mean, like, and this is sort of expected, hasn't really performed all that great. And we were kind of hoping that Justin Haley would be the guy that would carry the team, if you will, to some pretty good, strong, consistent finishes, given his history in the truck series and his history with Colleague as well. Unfortunately, that hasn't quite translated all that well. And we've seen it with Justin Haley. We obviously see it with Minnie Tyrell. Maybe some shades with Brendan Queen. Corey LaJoy, we haven't seen him too much in the truck to really make a judgment off of that. But he's doing pretty solid from what we've seen in the last couple of starts that he's made since Daniel Dye got let go. But other than that, Dodge has not really been doing all that great. So I will say Justin Haley is my driver to stay away from. My dark horse, on the other hand, you know, I think I'm gonna say Caden Honeycutt will be my dark horse for this one. Do I think? I don't think he'll win, but I think obviously that with that 11 truck and how strong he's been all year, you know, I think he'll still perform really well on the road courses. I still think he'll get the job done, hands down. There's still the chance that he'll win, but if he doesn't, still take him a good finish out of it. So give me Caden Honeycutt as my dark horse. And now, the driver to start a pileup at the Naval Base Coronado for the Truck Series. I will say the guy that will start the pileup will be the one, the only, Mini Tyrell himself. How do I think he'll do this? He will try to stay out on tire strategy and mess up his corner entry going into turn 1. Or mess up that entry. You know what I'm talking about, Sly. You snake your way into like the narrowest part of the entire course. Spin his tires going on that straightaway.
I did.
And block that whole track.
Can we talk about how we all picked a colleague truck as our stay away?
Oh,
yes.
Honestly, I feel like the only one that's like questionable is Brendan Queen. But yeah, I digress.
Now let's go over to our O'Reilly series predictions here. For my driver to win, Baltazar. No, I'm kidding, by the way. Obviously he's not winning. Imagine though. Maybe
if he won, I would shave this live on a podcast.
You know, I could potentially go bold here. Because
I had to.
You know, because like there's several candidates that could maybe do pretty well on a road course. One that comes to mind to me, you know, I think I'll take a shot in the dark with this one. I think I'll put my money on Sheldon Creed as my potential driver to win. Yes, that's a little bit, that's a little bit out there, but I think what could have been one of his first wins in the O'Reilly series back then when he was driving for RCR at the time, or even when he first started with Haas Factory Team, could have been at Portland, actually. Could have won at Portland. But for my driver to win at the Naval Base in Coronado, can't say it for some reason, it will be Sheldon Creed. My driver to stay away from, you know, I think for this week, oh boy, I think I'll say Blaine Perkins would be my driver to stay away from for this weekend. Keep in mind, this is a completely green racetrack. All these drivers are going to be completely green to it, so we've seen stranger things. Yes. For my dark horse, I will agree with Brent Cruz on this one. As far as, you know, being somebody that could maybe win or get a good finish. There is a I mean, I think he has shown pretty good speed, especially on road courses previously. So I will say he will be my dark horse, that being Brent Cruz. And the pileup starter for the O'Reilly Series race I think, you know what? For giggles, I'm gonna put him in here. I'm saying Jesse Wuji will be my pile-up starter.
Oh god.
And how will this happen? He's gonna wreck the leader. Under caution. Just like how he did with Ty Gibbs all those years ago.
He's gonna wreck Sheldon Creed while he's leading.
He better not.
Final lap.
What's the final lap?
Wow.
Could you imagine Sheldon Creed have a dominant performance and then that happens?
Yeah. Catches him on the tightest part of the racetrack.
Turn 2.
And then Brent Cruz squeezes by and wins the race.
Imagine. Alrighty, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your main event. The inaugural Anduril. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Anyways, the Anduril 250 at the San Diego Street Course, also known as the Naval Base Coronado, for the NASCAR Cup Series. Let's now officially go ahead and get our party started here. For the Cup predictions, I'm gonna say for my driver to win, unanimous decision across the board, SVG. And I think that decision is pretty undisputedly unanimous, if anything. The modern day road course king, if you will, especially coming to a racetrack that nobody's been on ever, comes out, wins the race. Shades of the Chicago street course when we first started racing there back in 2023. So SVG probably gonna replicate that same success.
Last year.
Yes. Anyways, he's going to replicate that same success that he did, not just at Mexico, but also the street course in Chicago. He's going to win that. Driver to stay away from. Man, hate to put him in this category. I think I'm going to say Josh Berry will be my driver to stay away from. I hate to put him in that category, but I don't really recall him doing spectacular on road courses. And I don't think it's going to bode all that well at the Naval Base. The dark horse. You know, I think it'd be pretty interesting. But I think this time around, I think I'll go with... I think I'll go with... We all can pretty much say. I think I'll say Denny Hamlin would be my dark horse for this one. I don't think he'll win. And I don't think he'll win the pole either.
No.
But...
God, if he does.
That'd be crazy. But I think Hamlin will still.
Be surprised.
But I think Hamlin will still show some pretty good speed. So long as he doesn't get caught up in the pileup. Which, speaking of, the pileup starter for the Cup race at the Naval Base Coronado. Ladies and gentlemen, stand back. There's a hurricane coming through. His name is Carson Hocevar.
Almost unanimous. Damn it, Sly.
Oh man,
I'm sorry. I had to put him in that category as well because obviously the 3 DNFs in a row that he had, it's like spinning out, and I hate to put the kid in this. Sorry, the kid, Zillage.
Yes.
Also for giggles. Damn it, Stapleton. We could have had a sweep on the dark horse too.
No, but if you remember last week, you, me, and Elijah all picked Denny Hamlin to win Stapleton was the only oddball out.
Yeah.
We just duplicated it again, but as a dark horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but all.
The only thing that's. What?
I was going to say, but alrighty, gentlemen. We pretty much done everything that we needed to do. We have reviewed Pocono. We've gone over our lone breaking story, or several in this case. The main one being Josh Berry not returning to the Wood Brothers. We've reviewed our points. We previewed Naval Base Coronado and made our predictions, which chances are we either may hit the jackpot or we're going to miss pretty miserably here. The chances are 50-50. But with that said, gentlemen, one last question. Any final thoughts before we get the Coronado weekend underway?
I'm into the danger zone.
Let's get this race going.
Oh boy, man. Dear Lord, if the ridiculousness on week 13 was any sort of indication of what the action at the Naval Base Coronado was going to be like, you know, for all three,
broke.
it's
going broke.
It's going to be long. It's going to be very long. Hopefully not, but we'll see what happens.
5 minutes for a pace lap.
Yes. With that said,
Oh, God.
With that said, I think we're going to put a bow on this episode of GTN. Thank you guys so much for watching and or listening to this episode of Gamers Talk NASCAR. If you are listening to this on Spotify, be sure to hit that follow button. And if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button and be sure to consider subscribing so that way you don't miss future episodes that drop every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on not just Spotify, but YouTube as well. On behalf of Slifer and as well as Wyatt Walker, my co-host, I'm Elijah Leonard signing out, and we'll catch you guys on the very next episode of Gamers Talk NASCAR.
See y'all.
Thanks for listening to tonight's episode of Gamers Talk NASCAR. Really hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to hit that follow button so you don't miss a future episode throughout the NASCAR season. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.